What's up and welcome to Ground Reality. We are talking to you about the third test match between India and England. I'm Rohan Manglani. Adi Singh next to me. What's up, bro?
All good, man. I mean, it's great that the test match is now the test series is now evenly poised.
Yeah.
And what more could you ask for than a pink ball test match to kind of be a pre-decider of who's going to actually move into the World Test Championship? I think it's perfectly poised, and both teams have won a game each.
It's a big, exciting test match ahead of us, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, the wicket obviously is going to play a crucial role. The ball obviously would swing a little bit more. The fast bowlers are going to come more into the game.
Yeah.
The talk is that wrist spinners it'll be easier for them to kind of pick up those wickets. So lots to see and where the match goes.
Yeah, no, we'll absolutely get into the pitch, but first let's talk about the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium, which has been talked about so
Absolutely.
much.
Yeah.
It's the largest cricket stadium in the world, the second largest sports stadium in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They've started making it in June in 2017. It's completed last year.
A lot of
in
money
Feb.
put into that.
700 crores.
700 crores
So-
put into a stadium like
Yeah.
that. It's great. I think India needed something like that,
Yeah.
and if you go with history, there are a lot of grounds in India that have also been refurbished, renovated. You have classic examples like Wankhede. I mean, it's soundproof. It's great. It's in the heart of the city. Motera obviously is a great ground. A lot of test matches. Even your 2011 quarterfinal against Australia
Yeah.
was played there. A lot
Yeah.
of memories there as well.
Lot of big things have happened at Motera.
Absolutely.
Kapil Dev got his 432nd wicket at that time, which was the highest wicket taker at
Yup.
in the scene. And Sunil Gavaskar got his 10,000th run.
Yes.
And like you mentioned, Yuvi's incredible
Absolutely.
innings at
Incredible
Motera, which
innings,
took us on and made
crucial.
us win the World Cup.
Absolutely.
So lots of memories, and it has a Olympic sized swimming pool.
Mhm.
It has a dormitory with like for 50 rooms which are there which for the people. It has 3 outside pitches basically
Yeah.
where you have, and the best thing about Motera actually is that it has 11 main pitches.
Yeah,
which
that's
are
great.
5
In fact, I mean the red soil and black soil. So interesting which one they're going to also kind of pick.
That's what.
So that's going to be interesting to see where what the curator actually decides and how that goes. Also, just to add, I mean, there's like you said, there's the largest I think Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Yeah.
If both the teams could just go and cool off after each day.
No, I think COVID restrictions, they won't be able to do that. But no, but okay, let's move on to the
Yeah.
pitch. Now, the pitch has been
Interesting.
a very big talking point. It was a
Absolutely.
very big talking point in Chennai. It definitely will be a talking point over here.
Absolutely.
But the time of the match has changed. It is a twilight test match. It is a pink ball test match.
Absolutely.
What's your take on the
So
pitch?
to answer your question first, the first one doing which was on the wicket. So with the pink ball, you actually require about 5 mm to 6 mm of grass. Now, but if that happens, then a lot of fast bowlers, especially the Englishmen, like you have Anderson and Archer, would come into play. But I feel over here, India, the curator is obviously going to shade off a lot of that grass because we have to get our spinners,
Correct.
into play at a very early stage. Also, the time, like you mentioned, 2 o'clock is when it's going to start. The most difficult time actually to play cricket is between that twilight. That's when it's a little difficult to kind of spot that ball, be it pink or white. That's a difficult time to spot the ball. So interesting things are going to happen.
Yeah.
So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that I just feel from a perspective of from outside that the test match will be decided obviously in I think the crucial sessions, for example, will be the first couple of hours because the pink ball is expected to swing a little bit much more probably than the red ball. It obviously won't reverse swing back in.
Yeah.
But but also what we know very little bit now about the pink ball test match, right? India's played 3 games.
Yeah. They've
This
played
is their
about-
second game at home, in the pink ball match. So the question is that we have to wait and see, and even the players will have to figure and readjust. And
Absolutely. The thing is that England's played about 3 games.
Yeah.
They've played against a power pack side like Australia. India has played against Bangladesh. So they both have their fair kind of experience. Now the thing with the pink ball is that it has that extra coating, that varnish, where
Yeah.
gives the ball good to go for at least the first session. 30 overs, the ball's going to look new as if nothing's really happened to it. It's not. It doesn't get scuffed up like the red ball. Also keeping in mind the conditions of the ground, and you're playing under twilight, under lights, so makes a very, very big difference. Definitely the ball is going to move a little bit, dart here and there, but that's the fun of this test match.
Tell us the difference between the seam of the pink ball and the red ball.
There's not much of a difference when it comes to the seam. It's just basically that lacquer that they apply, where that extra coating of
which they didn't do in the red ball. And in fact, in the red ball they use wax so that it got its color from the wax.
Absolutely.
But in this, apparently, if you use wax in this, then the ball becomes black under lights, which is very difficult to see.
Yeah, it could, but I'm sure the manufacturers, this is the SG ball that they're using,
Correct.
so they've kept all those things into the account, and are sure that the ball will definitely play an important role in this test match and how it's going to pan out, but it's not going to be vast difference in actually playing the ball, So yes, the red ball does reverse. This ball may not reverse that much because of the conditions and the extra varnish on the ball. But I think both the teams have equal experience on how to actually go ahead with the pink ball.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but one thing, can we establish that this is going to be a turning wicket again in the on day 2, on day 3, basically?
Absolutely. I mean, it all depends again on what you win the toss, you bat first is what
It's the norm. Yeah,
is the norm. You put the runs on the board. Spinners will come into play. That's where the curator has. I mean, is what the news says. He's left about only 2 or 3 mm of grass, so that it gets the spinners, especially the wrist spinners, as well. So I wouldn't be surprised seeing India again starting off even with an Ashwin or an Akshar. You never know, actually, just to give them the first 2 overs. That's something different, which even Mahiba used to just do. You suddenly see a spinner coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think the wicket will turn, but it'll take its due time and it'll start turning. It's definitely not going to be a dust bowl like Chennai.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about Akshar Patel, talking about Ashwin, let's talk about the team lineup, the probable. Now, according to you, who does India go in with in this test match? Is it going to be Akshar? Is it going to be, obviously, I think Ashwin will play. But does Hardik Pandya come in? Because he's been practicing in the nets, he's been bowling, he's been batting, he looks fit again.
Absolutely.
And, you have Ishant Sharma. Obviously, this is something which we should mention, that Ishant Sharma is going to play his 100th test match for India, and he's picked up 302 wickets in that much time. So congratulations to, I think, Ishant Sharma.
Congratulations, Ishant. Well done, buddy.
I think that's a phenomenal career. He came in 2007, 14 years going on, he's been playing, and it's...
And in fact, I would actually want him to see him perform in this test match. It's like made for him. For people like him, Bumrah, obviously.
You're so right, actually. Yeah, with the ball moving.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely give him that extra over. I would tell him to go that extra mile. Like Mahiba in that test match, not in the test match, in the Champions Trophy against England, he said, Dalega, he said, Main dalunga, and took that wicket. And that's where the game turned. So, these are the boys who want to actually, go hard. Now, coming to the lineup, if we start from the bowlers, I would definitely see, your Bumrah to start with, your Ishant, and I would pick an Umesh over a Kuldeep, okay, and would then move into obviously my Ashwin and the other left arm spinner, which is Akshar.
So you're saying there's no place for Hardik in this team at this point?
Going by the performance in the last game, I don't think they want to really break that balance going into a very important test match that will decide, their fate in the World Championship against New Zealand, which is going to happen in June. They may give Hardik a go in the 4th game. I'm not quite sure there.
It's possible. Yeah.
It's possible, but I wouldn't go ahead with Hardik at this point in time. Looking at the form that even Ashwin is, I mean, Ashwin is actually your spinning all rounder. He got 100. He gave you 7 wickets in the second test. He gave you 10 wickets in the first. So I don't see Hardik kind of fitting in as the bowling all-rounder in this case. You have Rishabh Pant.
No, but because of the pink ball, don't you think that Hardik, no, he doesn't feature according to you?
He could feature, but which fast bowler would you drop?
Yeah.
I would back a fully loaded fast bowler going in than a guy who can bat and bowl. I would give that chance because it's, tailor-made for fast bowlers to actually go in there hard. That's where Umesh comes in.
Fair enough. So Umesh is your pick in the bowling department. Wicket keeping, I think Rishabh Pant plays anyway. And what about the batsman? KL is fit?
KL is absolutely fit, but I think they would give Shubman another go at it.
He's played well.
He's played well. They would definitely want to see him against Jimmy Anderson. They would want to see him against Archer. He didn't play against Jimmy Anderson in the previous test, so they would definitely want to groom the lad. Rohit Sharma obviously is doing well. He's going to treat the ping ball like a white ball and just crack it all over the park. I'm quite sure of that.
Let's hope he survives those 20-25 initial overs.
And Cheteshwar Pujara obviously is a man of calculations. He's going to obviously suss it out, take his time, get into the groove, and then give you those runs. And Virat Kohli, as we all know, is the run machine. He scored 136 runs against Bangladesh in the first day-night test match. So he's used to those conditions, and he knows what the ball will do and what it won't.
Well, you've heard it. Let's hope for Team India to win the series, or actually win the third test. Then moving on, then we can probably win the series. But thanks, buddy.
Anytime, anything for ground reality.
All right, 55,000 people allowed in the ground, Adi. How's that looking?
It's looking great. It is actually 110,000 capacity, but it's great that there are about 55,000 people that are going to enjoy this test match in India. Right now, we all do know what the COVID situation is, but I'm sure the grounds and have certain SOPs that they follow and have these procedures in place. So it's great that there's going to be crowd, but I'm just hoping that everyone stays safe. That's the most important thing here.
Absolutely, man. And on that note, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, like, and share. Cheers. See you soon.
Cheers.